It's a cold morning, you climb into your car, a car you own outright that you paid for in full, and you press the button to heat your seat. The button is right there. The heating coils are right there, wired into the leather beneath you, installed at the factory before the car ever left the line. And yet, to switch them on, the screen wants $18 every month. The metal is yours. The warmth is a rental. Somewhere along the way, the thing you bought quietly became a thing you lease. And almost nobody noticed the moment the rules changed. This isn't a hypothetical. In 2022, BMW started selling heated seats as a subscription in several markets, around $18 a month to activate hardware that was already bolted inside the car. Regulators and drivers pushed back so hard that BMW eventually retreated on the seat heaters, but the ambition was crystal clear and plenty of these fees quietly survived. Mercedes pushed it further. On some of its electric sedans, you can pay about $1,200 a year to unlock quicker acceleration. The motor can already do it straight from the factory. The extra performance is simply locked behind a recurring fee waiting for your credit card. Sit with what that means. The plant built the entire car. Then engineers wrote software to switch part of it off, so the company could sell you the on switch over and over, month after month. And here's the part nobody in the ad mentions. Activating it costs the manufacturer almost nothing. The coils were already there. That $18 is very nearly pure profit. Here's what actually changed. For most of history, when you bought a thing, you owned the thing, full stop. What flipped that was software. The moment a product has a chip and a connection, the maker keeps a remote control over it long after it's sitting in your driveway or your living room. A tractor, a fridge, a watch, a doorbell, anything with a chip can now be metered. Ownership used to mean the object was finished and yours. Now the object is a doorway and the company stands in it, holding the key and a monthly invoice. You didn't buy a product anymore. You bought the beginning of a relationship, one where you keep paying and they keep the power to switch things off. Once you see it in the car, you can't stop seeing it. Your software used to come in a box you owned. And in 2013, Adobe took Photoshop, a program people bought once for a few $100s and kept for a decade, and turned it into Creative Cloud, about $60 a month forever. And the day you stop paying, you lose access to your own work. Your printer plays the same game. HP's Ink program can remotely disable cartridges you already paid for the moment you cancel the plan. Your doorbell charges you to see last night's video. Your exercise bike, your thermostat, your car wash, your razor blades, even your dog's food arrive on a monthly loop now. The average household now juggles more than a dozen of these recurring charges, each one small enough to ignore and sticky enough to survive every budget cut. A West Monroe survey asked Americans to guess their monthly subscription spending. The average guess was about $86. The real figure, once they actually counted, was closer to $270, more than 3 times what people thought they were paying. Then there's the trap that gets you in the door, the free trial. 30 days free feels like a gift, but it's really a bet. The company is wagering that once your card is on file, you'll forget to cancel before the first charge lands. And they stack the deck. Signing up takes 1 tap. Cancelling takes a phone call, a chat window, and are you sure? A surprise retention discount, and 3 buried menus. That imbalance isn't sloppy design, it's the whole strategy, and it works so well that in 2024, US regulators finalized a click-to-cancel rule meant to force companies to make quitting as easy as joining. When getting out has to be mandated by law, that tells you the difficulty was never an accident. So why doesn't your brain catch it? Because subscriptions are engineered to slip past the exact part of you that would say no. A single price tag, $90 for a program, triggers what researchers call the pain of paying. Yet you feel it. You pause, but $10 a month barely registers as a cost at all. It feels like nothing, less than a sandwich, a rounding error in your week. The company hasn't made it cheaper. $10 a month is $120 a year, and over 5 years it's $600. They've simply sliced one scary number into pieces small enough to slip under your alarm. Psychologists call this mental accounting. We judge a price by how it's packaged, not by what it truly costs. Multiply that by a dozen quiet subscriptions, and the pieces add up to real money you never consciously agreed to spend. The gym figured this out decades before the software companies did. A typical club sells far more memberships than it could ever physically hold. Some sign up thousands of members for a floor built for a couple hundred at a time. Industry data suggests a large share of members visit only a handful of times a year, if that. The business only works because they're betting correctly that most of you will never come. You're not paying for a workout. You're paying for the intention of one build every month, whether you show up or not. Their ideal customer is the person who joins in January, feels great about the decision, and then quietly forgets to go, and forgets to cancel. Forgetting isn't a side effect of the model. Forgetting is the model. Which brings us to the real reason everything is turning into a subscription, and it barely involves you at all. Follow the money up to Wall Street. When a company sells you something once, investors see a single uncertain sale. But when a company can show recurring revenue, money that lands automatically every month, investors treat it as predictable, and they will pay enormous sums for predictability. An old-fashioned product business might be valued at 1 or 2 times its yearly sales. A subscription business earning the very same revenue can be valued at 8, 10, even 15 times. Look at what happened to Adobe after it forced everyone onto Creative Cloud. Its revenue climbed, its profits climbed, and its stock rose more than tenfold in the decade that followed. The Zuora Subscription Economy Index found that subscription businesses grew their revenue several times faster than the S&P 500 over the past 10 years. So the same dollar simply relabeled recurring can be worth many times more to the share price. And once one car maker or software giant proves the market will reward it, the rest have no choice but to copy the playbook, which is exactly why these fees keep spreading to things that were never sold this way before. Executives aren't converting your seat heater into a subscription to make your life smoother. They're doing it because Wall Street pays far more for a dollar that repeats than for a dollar that doesn't, and you quietly became the dollar that repeats. So here's how to see it for good and take the power back. Every subscription is a bet the company placed that you would forget, and win the bet. Once a year, open your bank and card statements and hunt down every recurring charge. The survey gap all but guarantees there are 2 or 3 you can't even name. For each one, ask a single, ruthless question. If this disappeared tonight, would I sign up again tomorrow at full price on purpose? And if it isn't an instant yes, kill it. And the next time a glowing screen offers you a small monthly fee to switch on something you already own, picture that seat heater sitting cold beneath you. The hardware is already yours. The price is chopped up to feel like nothing, and somewhere an investor is counting on you to forget. Don't? Now you see it?